Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort.
Kogan. Drip.
Snort, snort.
I got the drip. Go. Just so you know, no, it's nothing absolutely horrible. Everyone is safe. It's not a big deal. I outright said as much last night when I posted up on X and also on the community page of this channel. I just said, hey, I got a story to tell you tomorrow. I basically got robbed again, right? And then what happens is when I say stuff like that, people absolutely freak out and blow it out of proportion and just make shit up. I can't stop people from doing that, but I tried to tell everyone right up front, it's not a big deal. Everyone's all right, but people are stupid and probably hyped it up overnight anyway for no good reason. There's nothing I can do, but I'm going to tell the full story today on the show, as well as some, like I said, some positive updates to offset the nonsense, all right? So, it's going to be a pretty good show today, and a pretty good streaming day today. This schedule now is looking much better now that we kind of figured it out, and the future is also looking bright past this week's schedule. So, we'll talk all about that on today's show, but I think what we should do, right? Let's just get this elephant in the room out of the room. Because I like having room in my room. And when there's a giant elephant in the room, he takes up all the room of the room. You see? So, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. If I can find it. It is time for Phil's day off. Now, actually, I totally screwed this up. Because I wanted to show you something before we did this. Okay. So, that's not what I wanted. Earlier this year, alright, basically, I was robbed. And it was very, very ridiculous what happened. So I want to show you what happened again, just to remind all of you. This happened live during a stream, by the way. One day, I'm sitting here, live on stream, playing games and relaxing with my audience. And I get a frantic phone call from my wife. Now, she's at work. And she's supposed to be coming home. And the call is so frantic. She's like, I can't believe this. But someone, I got out of work. I went out to the parking lot to go to the car to come home. Someone has stolen the entire tire assembly off of our car. And just to show you again, to remind you, for those of you who maybe forgot about this. Yeah, this literally happened. Someone put our car up on a jack in broad daylight in the middle of a parking lot. And they stole the tire right off of our car. Assembly and all, as you can see, it wasn't just the tire, it was the whole assembly. So, to make a long story short, because I don't want to retell this story from the beginning, I told the whole story at length when this happened many months ago. Basically, we put the donut on the car, drove it home, had to go to a tire place, had to order an entire tire assembly. It wasn't just the tire that needed to be replaced. They stole the whole assembly. I need the entire thing. The rim and everything has to be, back on there. And it cost me a ton of money. All right? Now, we immediately reported this to the authorities. And the mall itself, where this happened, has cameras everywhere. All right, there was literally, I'm not kidding you, a camera probably 20 feet away from where this happened in the lot. It's right there. They have these cameras set up in the lot to film crime in the lot. So we reported this to local police. They don't allow you to do verbal reports anymore. I'm serious. You have to do everything online. So everything was reported. And we say, hey, contact the mall. They have the evidence. Here's the picture. But, they have the evidence of everything on video. The police decided, oh, this is not a big deal, and never investigated. Yep. Oh, well, they said, not a big deal at all. They, nothing worth it. Not worth our time. So, because they didn't investigate, guess what? I was out a ton of money. All right? And this set me back. And this is the problem is, every time I swear I'm getting ahead, I get set back by some bullshit. This year's has been a lot. Most of it's been behind the scenes stuff you guys don't know about. But this is one of the things that was public. Because it happened literally during the stream. Okay? So, you guys knew about it, right? I mean, what was I going to do? How was I going to hide it when I had to stop my stream right in the middle to take care of this? All right? So, that was many, many months ago. And just to let you guys know, no, things are not getting better. I live in the Seattle area of the United States, the state of Washington. Pacific Northwest. And out here, things are literally just getting worse and worse and worse. I wish I could say that you know, this is, by the way, for the record, this is not a political statement. This is not me trying to stir up trouble. This is me being honest, all right? Everywhere you go, you see thieves walking around with backpacks and duffel bags. They just walk right into stores, and as soon as no one's looking, they go do-do-do. They take everything. They're right out the door. No one stops them. If they do get stopped by the police, in fact, here's what happens. I wish, again, that this was an exaggeration. This is not an exaggeration. If the cops catch someone in the act of stealing, they take the products away from the person who's stealing, they return it to the store, they take the person's information down, and they let the person go. They do not arrest them. They do not charge them with any crimes. They do not incarcerate them. They let them walk away. So I want you to think about that. What is the incentive to not steal when there is literally zero consequences for committing the act of stealing? Right? None. And in a lot of cases, what's happened is there's been actual organized crime rings in the state of Washington. People who have gone on a tear, steal a car, drive it into the front of a bank or a grocery store or a like a CVS, you know, what do they call a pharmacy, run in, grab what you can, go to the ATM, smash it, grab the money, and run out, and that's it, they're gone. Now, if they drive away, the cops are not allowed to pursue them. I want to repeat that. If someone is committing a smash and grab robbery and stealing everything from a business, the police are not allowed to pursue them. They are told, you must stay back, just take their information down, and hopefully you can catch them at home. I wish I was exaggerating, but I'm not. That's the state of how things are here where I live. Okay? So again, there's been tons of organized crime rings doing this. There are organized groups of thieves who are working what's the word? Not conjunct. Yeah, I guess conjunction, or they're consorting with each other. They all hit up stores at certain times of days, and then they all come together. They actually found, like, you know, apartments full of stolen goods. Oh, they're all working together, and they dump it, and then they all sell it, right? So this has all been happening, you know, for about 2-3 years, but it's just getting progressively worse and worse and worse and worse, okay? Now, the story I'm about to tell you about yesterday, now I can get to the Phil's Day Off segment, okay, is absolutely positively ridiculous. If it didn't happen to me, I actually wouldn't believe it. So I'm going to tell you the story of what happened to me yesterday, and you might not believe it either. I don't blame you if you don't. But this is actually the state of things where I live, okay? This is how bad things have degraded to the point where life is nonsensical at this point, okay? So, here we go. You ready? So yesterday, I went out during our day off, and it was another day at home. Because we actually have, coming up, we actually have quite a few days coming up where we're going to have lots of appointments and things. So we've decided to have a string of days off where we're going to stay home and relax. And then we're going to have our string of days where it's like several weeks where we have to go out every week to do a bunch of shit. Okay? So, this was one of the situations where we were staying home, but I had to go out to run my errands. Alright? Now, what errands do I run? Typically, grocery shopping, pet supply shopping, odds and ends. Sometimes I go to the garbage dump. You know, sometimes we'll have ordered something from a store and I go and I pick it up or something like that. It all depends. Alright? It all depends on that stuff. And basically, you know, it was not any day out of the ordinary. In fact, I was saying to my wife, wow, this will probably be a quicker day. I don't have too much to do today. So this should probably be a day where I'm in and out, you know, within maybe a couple hours. I have everything done. And then I can come home and we can relax together. Have a nice relaxing day together because we didn't have too much to do at home either. It wasn't like a day where we have a million things we have to do. We could sit back and relax and watch some stuff together, order some food, maybe have a drink tonight. You know, we're have a nice relaxing day together with the family. It's nice. So I went out and I did all my errands. And the last thing I got to do is grocery shopping, okay? So, you know, first of all, one thing about grocery shopping these days, and this is like everywhere I go, all the carts are always fucked up. I don't know why, but almost every cart that you get at any grocery store is completely fucked up. None of them go straight. They all like fuck, you know, they get fucked up. So it's just a chore grocery shopping to begin with, especially when you're loading up. This week we actually had to get some extra stuff because Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, is next week, next Thursday. So there's a lot extra things that that I need to get for Thanksgiving and stuff like that, right? So you know, I knew it was going to be a heavier shopping trip. There's going to be more stuff than usual or whatever. By the way, for full disclosure here, I do use reusable shopping bags. I used to not. And then basically right before the pandemic hit, I bought a bunch of these reusable shopping bags. And what I found is, man, it's easier when you got your groceries and you're carting them in and out of your house. Having the reusable bags just makes it easier. You know, a lot of people say, oh, it saves the environment. You can believe that if you want. I really don't give two shits because I really don't feel like my impact on the environment using shopping bags is that big. But I'll tell you this, it is way easier carrying your groceries around with reusable shopping bags than it is with those shitty plastic ones, okay? So I have a bunch of them, you know, and I have different kinds. I have like the ones that are, they're more like a plastic, almost laminate feeling to them, and they're kind of durable. You put your regular groceries in there, but then I have a couple that are like the heavy insulated, and they have like box sides almost, and I have like two of those, and those are really, really good for your like cold stuff. You put them in, you could zip it up, and it keeps your stuff nice and cold. Nothing, you know, melts in your trunk or anything like that. And I just bought those earlier this year, I believe off of Amazon. So some of these are on the older side. Some of these are many years old, these reusable bags. I've been using them, again, since like pandemic era. And then others are more newer bags. So just for clarity purposes, because I want you to have the entire perspective of what happened, okay? Got my shopping cart. I got my reusable bags in front of me in the shopping cart. There's actually a drink caddy in the cart, and my phone fits perfectly in there. So what I do is I have a list app in my phone, and I use that to track what I need for shopping, and I usually just pop my phone right into the drink caddy, and I check off on my list as I'm grabbing stuff and putting it in the car. I check it off, and that's how I shop. It's pretty convenient, okay? So I'm you know, my normal day, I start usually into produce, get the produce out of the way, and then I move into the store. You know, you go from the dry goods into the other stuff and the cleaning supplies, meats, and then you finally get to like the dairy and the bread and everything. So normal day, nothing crazy. I think we got pumpkin pie because we want a pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving. So you know, that's an extra thing. You know, some rolls. We're freezing so that we can actually have some rolls on Thanksgiving. Stuff like that. You know, cranberry sauce. Bought a couple cans of cranberry sauce in addition to our usual meals for the week. By the way, this is a shorter streaming week, which we're going to talk about later in the show. It's only a 5-day streaming week because I need my day off to be Wednesday next week to do my shopping before Thanksgiving because I don't want to be out shopping on Thanksgiving Day. So we'll talk about the schedule in a few minutes here. But anyway, so as I'm shopping, you know, it doesn't seem like it's anything of a little bit of an abnormal day or anything. Maybe there's a few more people in the store because it's the week before American Thanksgiving. But it doesn't seem like there's anything weird or anything. So basically, I'm shopping. It takes me about a half an hour, I would say, to grocery shop. So I'm finally at the end of the shopping trip. My cart is almost, you know, packed to the top. And I've got a few things left. I've got bread, a few dairy things I need to get, and oh, it was the cranberry. That's right. It was the cranberry sauce for Thanksgiving. And, you know, that's something I don't normally buy, right? So it's on my list, and I didn't know where it was in the store. And I'd gone up and down the aisles, and I hadn't seen it, which is a little weird because the week before Thanksgiving, and I can't find the cranberry sauce. So typically what happens is, if you can't find it in the aisle and it's something for a holiday, it means they idiotically put it on an end cap. Like they probably have like a highlighted area of the store where it's like on the front of one of the aisles. But the dumbest thing about that is, if you're shopping, where are you looking for the item? Where it should be in the aisle. Oh, well, we don't have it there now. We have it only on the end cap because it's the holiday. Then how are you supposed to fucking find it? You didn't put it in the aisle it's supposed to be in. Right? And they do this all the time. I don't know why, but they think that they're smart or something. Right? So anyway, I am in this area where they have like refrigerated soups, dips, hummus, stuff like that. And basically the only thing left, like I said, if I went a little bit to my right, there was the aisle with some dairy like cheese, and then there was bread. So that's all I had to do to finish shopping. But it hit me, I was like, oh man, I gotta get this cranberry sauce, because I'm gonna grab it now, I'm gonna forget about it, right? Let me just go grab it. It's gotta be on an end cap, right? So I'm not stupid, all right? I grab my phone to make sure I don't leave it in the cart, because man, I'd be a fucking moron if I left my expensive phone in the cart, right? So I grabbed my phone, I put it in my pocket, and I said, all right, so I'm going to be walking away to grab cranberry sauce, come right back, then push the cart to the end aisles and finish my shopping trip. Now, you might say, well, why did he not take the cart with him? Because like I said, the carts in these fucking grocery stores are junk. They barely work. My cart's full. So why am I going to push my cart across the entire store to look for cranberry sauce just to push it back to where I was to shop again? I'll just leave it here for a minute, right? Now, why on earth would anyone think that something would happen? Right? So, I literally walk away from the cart to find this cranberry sauce. I timed it, actually. It was 2 minutes. 2 minutes, I found the cranberry sauce on an end cap. There it is. I grabbed it. All right, we got the cranberry sauce, right? I turn around, I come back. I was not gone for longer than 120 seconds. I come back, and there's no cart. And I'm looking, and I'm like, oh, someone must have moved it. Maybe I was blocking something that someone wanted, right? So I start looking around. I'm like, okay. And then I think to myself, you know what? It's probably over one aisle over. I'm probably misremembering where I left this cart. I thought I had left it right next to the hummus, but maybe I left it in the next aisle over. I look over there. There's nothing there, right? And I'm looking all around, and I'm like, huh? What is going on? So now I'm starting to think, all right, maybe an employee grabbed the cart thinking it was an abandoned cart from a customer that had just decided to leave, right? But I'm thinking, no, an employee wouldn't think that. I got my reusable shopping bags in the front of the cart. And by the way, again, I got to reiterate, these are not brand new reusable shopping bags. These are not valuable. You know, you can buy these online for a few bucks. This is not like, oh my God, there's $200 of fucking bags in this cart or anything like that. It's nonsense. It's nothing of any real value, right? So I really start just looking around, and I'm like, so now in my head, I'm thinking, could someone have been like, I mean, maybe it's an elderly person and they're just confused and they grabbed my cart because they're just, you know, who knows what it could be. So I said, I'm going to walk corner to corner in this store. By the way, so I have cranberry sauce in my hand because that's all I have, because I went to grab it. I was going back to the cart. That's all I got is cranberry sauce, right? So I'm like, I'm going to go end to end in this store looking up every aisle. All right, let's do it. So I start walking, and I look down every aisle, and I realize as I get to the end of the store, it's not in the store. It's like someone, when I went to grab cranberry sauce, grabbed my cart and walked out the door with it. Now, I want you to think about how weird this is, okay? First of all, no, I didn't pay for my groceries yet. So it's not like, oh, I got robbed of you know, hundreds of dollars or anything like that at all. That's not the point here. The point is someone just took the cart, right? What really did they steal from me? The reusable bags. Is it a big deal? No, of course it's not. But they did get a cart full of groceries. But here's what really gets me, which I just don't understand. Okay, this is what really blows my mind. All right? Think about this. If you're going to steal, and you're going to a grocery store with the intention of stealing, like I want to steal from the grocery store, right? Would you not go and grab your own cart, load it up with what you want to eat or what you want to steal to resell, whatever it may be while you're stealing, and then leave the store with the cart of the things you picked, right? Would that not be what you did? What you would do? Right? Why would you look for a cart of someone else's shopped groceries and take that cart? right? Does it make any logical sense in your brain at all that you would steal someone else's cart of groceries that you didn't pick? Because again, I have to reiterate to you guys, okay? In the state of Washington, right now, you can get away with theft. No one's stopping anyone. You can literally walk into a store with a bag or whatever, load it up, walk the fuck out, and even if there's a cop who catches you, they take the stuff back and you walk. They don't arrest you. All right? So, if that was the case, why wouldn't you just go to the grocery store, pick what you want with the intention of stealing, and steal it? And take what you want? Why would you take... My brain was like addled. Like in a video game, you know, someone cast a spell, and you got the Tweety birds going around your head or the stars. I was like, I can't understand it. I just don't it's like the Mind Flayer was whipping me with their tentacles or whatever. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I just couldn't understand it. Like, why would anyone do this, right? So, what was I going to do? I got to reshop the store. So the first thing I did is I texted, you know, my wife, and I said, I'm sorry, I'm going to be back home late. If you're wondering what's taking me so long, I literally have to do a second shopping trip because I already did it once, but I didn't check out yet, but some fucker stole this, right? So, just to confirm, I did grab an employee, and I said, here's what's just happened. What do you think? And they said, nah, someone stole it. They're like, if it was someone who was putting your stuff back, it wouldn't make sense because you have all your bags in the car. He says the moment that someone saw reusable bags, they would have known it was a customer legit who was going to come back. If you didn't have the reusable bags and you had left it there for several minutes, then there was a chance an employee might have taken the cart and put all the groceries back. But there's no way that someone did that if you have your reusable bags in the cart. So definitely someone stole it, okay? So I grabbed a cart. I had to reshop the whole store. And of course, you know, I ask as I'm checking out, I tell the story again, and basically I say, so what do you think happened? And the checkout guy was like, well, I think I got a theory. He said, of course, there's no way to tell. He said, but you got to understand that a lot of these people around here now, they're just stealing to steal. It's not even a matter of they're stealing for necessity or they're stealing because they want to make money. They're literally in just a pattern of they steal to steal now because they get away with it. He's like, so I guarantee you what probably happened was this is someone who was already in the store with the intention to steal. Maybe they even had a backpack full of stuff already, and they were about to leave, and they just happened to see that your cart was just sitting there. So, I mean, to them, that's just the bonus, right? Like, that's, if they're already getting some kind of like an endorphin high because they're a kleptomaniac. They're just out to steal anything. And now they've got a giant cart sitting in front of them with a bunch of groceries and reusable bags and everything. Who even cares if they ever use it? They could literally push it out to the lot, grab 4 items out of the cart, and leave the rest, just push it down the block. Fuck it, they don't care. But this is the rush that they get. This endorphin rush from being a kleptomaniac, right? So, and I was thinking about it. I was like, now certainly that doesn't make logical sense. But I don't think there's logic behind these actions. When you get to a point where crime is so rampant and accepted, now it becomes a commonplace thing that humans do, and there's probably an entire subculture of people in this state that are just so used to doing it and getting away with it. It's just their daily routines, right? I go to the store, I load up my bag, I walk out, I go home, I see what I got, I throw out some shit I don't want, I sell what I don't want, I keep what I want. This is their life. They're just okay with it. Any opportunity they have to grab anything, they just take. For no reason. There are probably people that'll steal something. I don't want it. They just throw it right out when they go outside. But they stole it. So they got their endorphin rush for the day because they got away with it. You know what I'm saying? So again, just to reiterate, because people, of course, in the chat are being stupid. No worker would have taken my cart with a bunch of reusable bags in it. It would have been one thing if there were no reusable bags and it was just groceries and it looked like it was sitting there and someone had abandoned it. That's not the case. I was gone for 2 minutes and there was reusable bags in the cart. No employee took this cart. Okay? Likely it was just a thief who was just being stupid. Now, thank God I'm not dumb. Because imagine if I were dumb and I left shit in the cart. What if I left my phone there? I mean, that would be really stupid to walk away from a smartphone sitting in a shopping cart, right? You'd have to be a really big moron. What if, you know, my wife's purse was in the car? What if she'd been with me and we were shopping together and we walked away for a second, right? What if my infant son, not that I have an infant son, what if my infant son was in the cart? I mean, let's be honest, there's no logic to it. Maybe that's the ultimate endorphin rush, to steal the cart with someone's infant son sitting in the fucking front. You just walk out the door with their kid and leave them in the parking lot and walk away, right? Like, I know that sounds insane, but it seems like that's what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, it's just these people are fucking wild. They're nuts. They're out of their fucking minds, you know? So, I just don't... I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. I still don't understand it. Like, again, maybe the theory of the worker is correct. Maybe the people out here are just kleptos. They've become so used to this, right? That... You want to know the worst part about the whole thing? You ready for this? The worst part about the whole thing was my replacement tire that I bought earlier this year was in the cart. So they stole my replacement tire that I spent all that money on. And now I got to get another one. Now that's bullshit. See, that's exaggeration. That's hyperbole, okay? But the point I'm making here is how ridiculous. Of all the things to steal, it still blows my mind someone did that. It does. Like, if you're, again, using logic, if you're going to steal what you need or you want or you think you can get the maximum dollar for. They stole my pumpkin pie, you know. They stole, what other things did I have in there? Some canned vegetables, some, like, refrigerated meats, a whole bunch of bottles of drink, like juice and stuff, a whole bunch of that. These, they stole like 12 of these carbonated waters, right? Like, what the, what were they doing? Right? So, all that stuff's gone. The store is out all those groceries, right? Which is ridiculous. And I'm out my reusable shopping bags. Now, is it a big deal? No. Is it annoying? Yeah. I got to reorder my reusable shopping bags. And that sucks. You know, some of them were old. Honestly, like I said, some of them were like pre-pandemic age. So maybe it's okay to get new ones anyway. And in fact, I went on Amazon last night and I actually found these nice cloth ones. Because these, I told you, they were like the plastic, almost like laminate plastic feeling bags. So the ones I got online are like cloth bags, which are probably going to be very nice and probably even more durable than what I had regardless, right? So it's not a huge loss. It just sucks I have to spend more money to buy more bags, but maybe it was the time to get them anyway, right? So not a big deal. But still, it's just stupid. It's still stealing, right? They stole the bags from me. They stole all those groceries from the store. For what? And that's just the state of life out here. It sucks. And by the way, just so you guys know, this is not a political statement. People out here who are liberal have had enough. It's not just, it's because it's conservatives against liberals, right? And so the conservatives want law and order and the liberals want everything free. And because of that, no, like the liberal people out here are also had enough. Everyone out here has had enough of this shit. We had a government out here that failed everyone ever since the pandemic hit. And you had all those movements for Black Lives Matter and all of that. The governments out here pushed way too far in one direction, anti-police and all of that, and they ruined everything for everyone. So it's literally not just, it's one group of political movement. Everyone out here is fucking fed up with what our government did. They fucked the whole thing up, okay? So they're trying to fix it. They just recently passed a law that said that, like the police now can engage. If they're trying to arrest someone, they can engage in a certain situation and not in another situation. But I just want you to think what kind of a government we have that you can literally neuter the law enforcement. Like, we went all the way one way. Okay, the law enforcement is overly forceful. They're doing horrible things. They're overextending their reach of what they should be doing, and they're getting away with it. So you go from one extreme completely to the other extreme. What made them think that was going to work, right? It doesn't make any sense at all. So what's happened is progressively, over the last 3 years, crime just gets worse and worse and worse and worse because the police can't really do anything about it. I don't believe that it's the police's fault that crime is like it is. I don't believe that at all. Do you think, I mean, just think about it this way. Do you think anyone says, man, I can't wait to be a police officer so I cannot stop crime? That's what I've always wanted to be, a police officer, so I could sit here with my hands tied and do nothing to help anyone. Right? Like, yes, that's definitely what it is, right? No. Is it they can't do anything. They can't do what they need to do. They've been told, no, this is the limits of what you can do. This is the limits of your budget. This is the limits of your hiring power and your how many cops you can have. They can't do what they need to do. In life, one extreme and the other extreme never works. There's always got to be a happy medium where you find the balance of what's going to work and it's best for everyone. Sadly, in this country where I live, we have everyone's on this side or everyone's on this side, and here's how they talk to each other. Fuck you. Guess what? That's how absolutely everyone gets hurt and no one gets help. And that's the state of the United States of America for the last 3.5 years. That's exactly what it's been. Idiots smashing their fucking heads against each other like dunce fucking level morons instead of working together to say, okay, do we have a problem with this? Let's fix it. Okay, here we go. We don't agree on everything, but let's work together to make everything better. No, it's like, oh, watch this. Fuck you, motherfucker. Fuck you. And you want to know why? Because there's profit in it. Because people like drama, right? Take a look at the landscape of the internet right now. Right? Everything's polarized. It's so hard to find anyone of a level head. Everyone's always, I'm all on this way or all that way and fuck the other side and here's why they're all wrong. And it's like, I'm sorry, I just can't live like that. You know, I can't. To me, I feel like there's ways that we could fix these problems. But sadly, the people in power, right, are just not into that. We have to be 100% one way or the other way. And this is why nothing gets fixed. So right now we have an effort in our state. They're trying to re-empower the police. The problem is they can't hire people. Want to know why? No one wants to be a police officer in Washington State. No one. They've actually started hiring incentives. They've offered bonuses to say, hey, we'll give you a big signing bonus to become a police officer in Washington because we need them that bad. And then someone's like, nah, nope. I'm not stupid. I'm not taking that bait. All that's going to happen is you're going to hire me and you're going to tell me I can't do half the stuff I need to do to stop crime. And, then I take the blame for it, right? You're going to put me in unsafe situations where I need to defend myself and you tell me I can't defend myself because then I'll be prosecuted, right? For hurting a criminal or something. They don't want to fuck around. So no one's becoming a police officer and they're massively understaffed and they can't do anything about it. I don't blame the police at all. At all. This is 100% a failure of the United States government and the state governments as well. The government has done absolutely nothing in the last 3.5 years to improve anything. It's been fucked up. They fucked everything up. And now everything's, what are you going to do? Now, I'm not a political guy, right? But this is twice in 1 year. Twice in 1 year that I had stuff stolen straight out from under me, right? And the funny part about it is I only leave my house once a week. I want you to think about that. Once a week. I leave this abode to do things. And I was robbed twice. Twice. So can you imagine? Can you imagine if I was someone who had to commute every day? Can you imagine if I was someone, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck, dude? What a place, what a life. Even me, Mr. Non-Political, don't want to get involved. I'm fucking fed up with this shit. Thank God. In this case, it was a minor thing. It was a grocery bag stolen from me. Big fucking deal, right? It's not a big deal in any way, shape, or form. It's just not. But it could have been way worse. What if I had paid for those groceries? And I was just waiting to walk out the door with them and someone stole them? What if I had something? What if I accidentally had left my phone or something else, my wallet, in that cart, right? It's not bad enough. It's not bad enough that we're in a situation where I lost out on how much money on that fucking tire earlier this year. Just the risk continues no matter where I go and what I do. It's just there. And it's for everyone here. This is not a one-off case of just this bad luck. This is literally happening everywhere in this state. It's a massive system-wide failure of everyone. People who are trying, businesses, like I keep telling you guys, we would love to go to Seattle. We had said we want to go visit Seattle. We've only seen it once. It was right after Kat had moved here. In 2018, we went to Seattle once. And at that time, I'll be honest with you, it wasn't a great trip. It was very stressful. A lot of things went wrong during that trip. So it wasn't a very nice trip. And we've always said, we want to go back. We want to go back to Pike Place Market. We want to go back down to the waterfront and do some fun stuff. We would love to go into the city and go to, like, the Pop Culture Museum again and stuff like that. But I'm not exaggerating when I tell you, Seattle has literally become so crime-ridden that entire businesses that used to be insanely profitable and have left. There's entire sections of the city that are empty, where people just do whatever they want, and no one really cares or stops them. And the crime and theft is so rampant in the tourism areas that most people who live around here say don't go there. They outright say no. And it's funny because you'll look and you'll see, for example, postings for jobs and stuff in this area. You'll look around and say, I wonder who's hiring in this area. What's it like? All the job postings are for downtown Seattle because everyone quit. No one wants to work there because Seattle is such a crime-ridden area now. Absolutely no one wants to put up with the risk of working down there, and the pay is ridiculous. You'll look at, like, McDonald's in downtown Seattle, $22 an hour. I'm not exaggerating. That's how much they're paying in Seattle for a burger flipper job. They'll pay you $22 an hour because they're trying to get, no one will work there because it's a crime zone. They don't want anything to do with it, you know? So it's pretty insane, you know? One day we'd like to go back to Seattle, but someone's got to fix it. They got to, we're not going to go there and go at personal fucking risk, get robbed and shit. Who the fuck would care? Why would you want to do that? Right? It's just rough, man. It's shitty. It's shitty because when I moved here 9 years ago, it wasn't like this at all. It was nice. Everyone was friendly. The crime was not a problem at all. And now it's just, in the last 9 years, it's just like this. Like a giant fucking escalating thing. And it's like, I can't fucking believe how bad it's gotten. You know? And every day, now, again, to clarify, financially, no, I'm not in a great position. I'm certainly not as bad as I was several years ago. But financially, no, I'm not in a great position. All right? But I will tell you this. Every day, I thank my lucky fucking stars that 9 years ago I moved here where I live in a private community. Seriously. Because it's fucking dangerous out there. You know? It really is. Like, thank God that I moved where I did and I live where I live. Because it's getting worse and worse. And thank God I moved to this place. You know. So, that's my story. It sure would be nice if we could get some stuff to change for the better. I don't know if it will. I would hope it. See, the thing is, like with everything, there's a breaking point, right? So at some point, like I said, even the people out here who are like the ultra liberals, they're done with this too, because it's one thing if it's affecting one or two people, it's affecting everyone around us. Our lives are changing because this is so bad at this point. So now everyone is demanding change. Okay, so that's a good thing. And hopefully you would hope that there will be a tipping point where now things are going to flip and change. Now all these businesses are going out of business. The tourism is leaving Seattle. No one wants to work in Seattle. I mean, how long could this keep going on until finally someone fixes something, right? So I guess we'll see. You know, we'll have to see as we continue. But this is what I go through, you know. So what a day. It's supposed to be my day off, my relaxing day, right? And I get this thing happen, I'm like, I literally still can't wrap my head around it. Because again, I don't think there's anything to wrap your head around. I think it's a situation where it's just someone who's just, they're messed up in the head, and they just do that. Like, they get this endorphin rush from stealing. They just do. This is, oh, I got my, feel good now because I walked out the store with a fucking cart, right? Like, you know what I mean? So, there you go. That's my Phil's Day Off segment for this week. Certainly more eventful than most. Hopefully next week I have 0 events to talk about. I would much rather have a non-eventful Phil's Day Off than one like that. Let me tell you. Okay? All right.
I got the drip going. 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 I got the drip going.
It's like a faucet that's dripping. You can't make it stop. So what do you want me to do? Have a mute button that every second I'm tapping the mute button just in case I'm gonna have to clear? Like, this is what I mean. These dumb kids. This is what it is. It's dumb kids.